Our Computex 2019 coverage is made possible by Seasonic, ASRock, Western Digital and Builds.gg. Check them out in the links below. What's up guys, I am Stuart from GGF and we are here at the Deepcool booth at Computex 2019 Day 1. Now we have a few cases to check out here from Deepcool, and we also have some new all-in-one coolers with some pretty sweet anti-leak technology. So let's come in and take a look at these two new cases here. These are the Matrix 70. So they're very similar to the Matrix 55 that was released, or was actually announced at last Computex, but now they've sort of upgraded them with the RGB. Now, as the name states, Matrix 70, these will retail, or this one will retail for $70 US. That's right, pretty affordable case right here. Now, if you come and take a look at this, this is sort of the bare minimum with the RGB, is sort of the static RGB, and then we do get the nice tempered glass cover. So this is something we've actually never really seen before, an actual tempered glass power supply cover. Now that is removable, so if you do have a power supply that has lights in it or so on, you'll definitely see all that. Now in terms of support here, you've got support for a 360 all-in-one cooler in the front, and you do have a bit of a decent cutout for things like your different thicknesses for your radiators. You're probably not going to do a decked out crazy all-in water-cooled loop in this system, but definitely for sort of beginners looking to sort of step up to a more sort of advanced system. And moving along the top, there is a magnetic air filter up here, which is really welcomed in a lot of cases. And then up the top, there's also support for a 360mm radiator. In terms of thickness for that radiator, I actually think that's pretty good for your motherboard support. I can't see too many all-in-one coolers failing on that one there. Now moving also up on the top, we can also see our front panel connectors, our ports, and you can also see they are backlit. A lot of companies are bringing out those backlit connectors. Now also taking a look at the backside of the case, sort of standard here for Deepcool. There are other cases that do have that design as well. Now also this does have an interesting feature on this one, and I think also the Matrix 70, the white one over there, we have this little push button on the side here. So if you're wondering how you get this glass segment out, you simply push this button and it pops out. I didn't want to let that go just in case it kept going, but yeah, the push button does drop it out like that, and then you can just take this panel out and you've got access to your fans. So that's a neat little feature there. Ventilation is on the side. I'm probably going to say that's not going to be the world's maximum amount of airflow coming out the side there, but it's going to be better than nothing. It's not completely blocked off like we've seen in cases in the past. Now moving on to, this is the Matrix, still the Matrix 70. So this one's a little bit more. The black one was 70 US. This one is about 119 US. Now this one has quite a bit more RGB. I'll swing around over here and we'll take a look. I'll take this off. This one's sort of RGB on steroids when it comes to power supply RGB. If we get a closer look at the bottom over here, you can see that running along, and I can change all of that with the LED control button. You can have it tracing, you can have it static, and heaps of other stuff going on there. And now we also do have our tempered glass power supply cover there as well. Neat little feature there. And as you can also see on both of these cases, we have the removable hard drive cage as well. Apart from that, this is pretty much the same. You've got also RGB at the top as well. You've got the pop-out cover for the front, and then you do have the white chassis. So Deepcool was saying, even just to get a case in white, you're looking at $10 US just to get a case from black to white. So that's where the extra cost will come through. And then you've also got the adjustable digital RGB as well. Now moving on to the last case I want to cover over here. Now, Deepcool are calling this the McCube 550. So this is going to come in at about 129 US. Now this is a very, very streamlined, very clean looking system here. Nothing on the front, nothing on the top. So this is actually Deepcool's GamerStorm line of cases. It's different than the Matrix, that's Deepcool. This is GamerStorm. It's got a very slight hint of the GamerStorm branding on this handle up here, and there's a little bit of branding on the front, which we'll show you a little bit later on. Now this front panel just has magnetic clips that just push off, and then it comes straight out like that. Now moving inside on the case, very, very open layout. You've got support for a 420mm radiator on the backside or a 360mm radiator in the front. Now ventilation is just through these gaps here. I actually don't mind this ventilation. I would prefer something like this than just having thousands and thousands of little slits. Just having this nice big gap I think would work better. You might be wondering what this CPU cooler is. This is their Monster Assassin 3. This has nearly 300 watts of cooling capacity. This is the Monster. Retail for this will be $99 US. You just got to bear in mind that memory clearance may be an issue with this Monster. It's got 7 heat pipes. I'm not sure the weight of it. They haven't mentioned here, but it's going to weigh quite a bit. One last little thing I want to showcase is, we won't walk around the back, but on the back here you can see this interesting design. It was actually on the Deepcool Newark case. They had this design on that case as well. It just allows for airflow. You can either have this side be intake or exhaust, so it's really up to you on how you want to do it. You can have the front and the side in, and you can have your air cooler exhausting like how they've done it there. And also you've got the vertical GPU support, and I do like this type of vertical GPU support because it's actually sitting on the power supply cover. You're not going to get any sag. The actual PCI Express cable just screws onto here, and then you got zero sag, and it sort of gives you better support for your video card. Now we're going to jump in and take a look at some of the new all-in-one coolers. Alrighty guys, now taking a look at some of Deepcool's new all-in-one coolers. Now this is the Captain series. We've seen this before. You might be familiar with the original Captain series. They did have the glass tube, and it did have the red coolant flowing through. Now Deepcool have moved to a sort of a chrome. This is like a copper hard tube. Some of you would find in custom water cooling loops. They've gone with this way because it's much stronger. They had a lot of end users reporting that the glass was breaking. So if you did drop this on the point, it could break, but now it's a much harder, it's a chrome material, and I think it does look better as well. You will get some nice reflections of these. Now, all these coolers we're talking about today have Deepcool's new anti-leak technology. Now you might be thinking anti-leak, oh, so nothing in this all-in-one cooler will leak. Well, not entirely. If you go and cut the tube in half with scissors, it will leak. So this type of anti-leak technology is kind of a heat dissipation technology. So if you have your all-in-one cooler running and you don't have the fans running, it'll eventually heat up, and pretty much every all-in-one cooler you have, it's going to pop a tube off. They're not secured in super strong, they don't have compression fittings to lock them in, they will pop off. So what Deepcool have added in their all-in-one coolers is like a little chamber where it just dissipates the heat. So it's just like an exhaust. And now we've got a sort of a screenshot in a video to actually show you how this works. And there are comparisons, and Deepcool does have a full test rig exactly showing you how this works. It's kind of like a car with your dyno. It's got graphs and stats, and it shows you exactly how it works. And you can actually see on the side there is a little exhaust port that does exhaust the hot air. So that's only a technology, but it's like a fail-safe for users. If you forget to connect your fans, your all-in-one cooler starts heating up, it will exhaust the air. Now moving on to some of the ones that I really do like, these are the Castle series. You've seen these ones in the past. Now all these coolers do come in the 240 and the 360mm options. Now these Castle ones are really nice. Of course you've got the RGB. You've got the little controller up top that does control the RGB, and then you've got these little caps. Now these caps can come off. You can change your logo. As you can see, if you're from Australia, a big shout out here, PC Case Gear, you can throw this cap on there, or you can custom make your own. Now Deepcool also said that you can orientate this, the logos inside 4 different ways. So the worst thing you want when you set up your all-in-one cooler is to have the brand's logo upside down. I've seen that a lot in builds. Sometimes you can't do it any other way. It really depends on just how the tubes end up, but with this one you can change the logo 4 different ways. So that's a nice little touch there. Now last thing I want to touch on are the fans. Now Deepcool have redesigned brand new fans here. They're not RGB, they're not fancy bling fans. These are dedicated radiator fans. They're high performance fans. I don't know too many stats on them. They don't have a heap on them, but there's a lot of rubber on the sides here, so you're going to get a nice lock-in sealed for your radiator, and they're really slim, low profiled. What they were saying, I will actually stop this one, hopefully I don't lose a finger. They were saying they are a double blade design. You can see in there how they are designed. And not only do they perform well, they do look really cool. That starts back up. And then the actual frame is tapered. So it starts off wider at the front, and then it tapers in slightly more towards the back. Now pricing on these coolers, you're looking at the big boy, which one is this? The Castle 360, the V2, which is our latest one, will be roughly $139 US. And then for the Castle 240, which is this one here, this is looking at $109.99 US. So not too bad there. You are getting that anti-leak technology. As I said, it's not going to be for everyone. It's only a fail-safe. If your fans stop, the cooler starts heating up, you're not going to pop off the tube and so on. It's going to dissipate that heat for you. But yeah, that's pretty much it from the Deepcool booth. Stay tuned for more videos.